This is the G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Commander with combat armor. I think it used to be called with battle armor or battle armored Cobra Commander. This thing has a lot of nostalgia. Lots of memories with this figure, the 3.75-inch figure. Growing up as a kid, my brother had him. I had Destro and the Iron Grenadier. I picked up this figure from Amazon. Let's get him out of packaging. And here is the battle armored or armored Cobra Commander out of the box. And albeit it is a very good figure, I do have issues with it. A little bit of the sculpt. The silver on this thing is driving me nuts. Maybe the way the plastic's been molded, or the paint apps, or lack of paint apps with this figure. I really did have a lot of high expectations with this figure when it was first revealed, and I was kind of hoping they would go the route or the route of what they did with the retro carded mini comic book Silver Surfer, which is coming in, and I thought they would do something like that with this one, but they didn't. And bit of a letdown for me. But we'll wait till the end of the video for a final judgment. Let's take a closer look at the details of this new Classified Series Armored Cobra Commander. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 16.5 centimeters tall, or about 6.5 inches tall. For comparisons, here he is with a couple of other Joes. We've got the retro carded Duke and the first version of Snake Eyes, and I'm really glad Hasbro decided not to shrink this figure, much like what they did with General Hawk or Leatherneck. He's in the perfect scale with these two other figures, that big scale, the original scale for the Classified Series. And if you want to see him in his original form, about the same height, same scale, albeit he should be a little bit bigger, like half an inch bigger because of the armor. You know, just like how Tony is bigger with the Iron Man armor, but well, they decided to just keep him in same scale. So this figure comes with extra sets of hands. He's got the clenched fists, he's got stock of the gripping pistol grip hands, and he's got the Captain America pointy hand. Those are his fists. And he also comes with his signature blaster, which is really so G1. The signature backpack, which is much bigger now, because in the old 3.75-inch classic vintage figure, it was much smaller. But this one, they made it way bigger. It feels like a Sky Commander's backpack. That's fine. He comes with an extra head sculpt with the snake eyes, or eyes of the snake. We'll talk about that later. And an iguana. Again, we'll talk about that later. Now, if you didn't already know, this is Cobra Commander back in his human form. And through the power of Dragonfire, the Baroness was able to revert his snake form, him from snake form to human form. If you watch the events of the G.I. Joe movie, you know that Globulus punished Cobra Commander for failing miserably to conquer the world and defeat the Joes and turn him into a snake. And somehow the power of Dragonfire made him a human again. And as such, his eyes still retain the properties of a snake. Look at these two head sculpts. They're really great looking sculpts. Sculpts, mind you, not the color, just the sculpts. I love the eyes on this one. Just really menacing snake eyes. And this is the original. The original figure never had the snake eyes, so yeah. And then, it's not his pet. Somehow, Hasbro or whatever, the producers of the show, decided that Serpentor wasn't a saleable character. So they used Dragonfire to turn Serpentor into an iguana, and the iguana just skittled away into the woods or in the forest or jungle, whatever, never to be seen again. And I guess it's the same with Rodimus. You know, Rodimus and Ultra Magnus weren't selling as much, and people wanted Optimus Prime, so Hasbro had to bring back Optimus Prime. And I figured, I don't know, I never had the Serpentor toy, and back in the 80s, and I figured, you know, it wasn't as popular as Cobra Commander. People wanted Cobra Commander back, so I'm guessing that's why they did a storyline to bring him back. Articulation for the figure: the neck is on a ball joint. A dumbbell ball joint here, ball joint at the base of the neck, ball jointed smooth rotation on the upper torso, ball joint again on the lower torso or the waist. Shoulders go in and out, forward and backward 360s, got butterfly hinges, bicep swivel, double hinged pinless elbows, wrists can go swivel and hinge up and down. The hips are on drop down ball joints. You can do the splits, kick forward, backward, thigh swivel, double hinge knees that are pinless. Yep. And then he's got it's not a boot cut, but it's actually a ankle cut. Interesting. Ankles have hinges too that allow you to move the feet up and down and have the rocker tilt. Now let's go to my main contention for this figure, because it is an amazing sculpt. Look at this sculpt. Beautiful. I have no qualms about it. My biggest contention are two things. First is the color. They decided to save money. Instead of painting, these parts are painted silver, but they molded the head sculpt, the backpack, the shoulder armor, thighs, lower legs, and the feet in this glossy, pearlescent, silvery plastic. And if you shine the light at a certain angle, you can see there's a little bit of beige, bronzing, yellowing hue on that silver, which is just annoying, man. I mean, look at that. It's not pure silver. It feels like it's yellowing already. And I don't know, it's very annoying. And you can see the silver doesn't match. And I was kind of half expecting that they would do the Silver Surfer render on this figure, much like what they did with Shala Ball for the first steps and the upcoming mini comic book Marvel Legends Silver Surfer. I was kind of hoping they'd do that. But this is Hasbro just trying to save a buck by saving on paint apps. They could have easily painted this with a very metallic, shiny silver. It doesn't have to be chrome. It just has to be a deep, shiny silver. It would have been really, really good. But as it is, it literally is lackluster, pun intended. Okay, and the other thing I didn't like about this figure are the shoulder armor. They did the Anakin Skywalker version, or Obi-Wan Kenobi, Clone Wars armor, or shoulder armor, where it's not even on a ring. So when you move the arm, it doesn't move with the arm. It's just pegged in there. And the reason I don't like this is you can't keep him posed in a dynamic pose for a long time, because this thing is going to warp and it's going to be difficult to bring it back. Probably there's a way to just, stick it back in, but I don't like that. I absolutely hate that. And again, if you move the arms forward, look at that. It's not on a ring. I don't think it is, because there's a notch. It's just stuck right there with the it's stuck on the butterfly hinge. So that just speaks volume. Why I hate this kind of shoulder armor. And man, I think we've come way too far to go back to this kind of tech. And there should be a way to just do what Bandai is doing. When you put a hinge right here on the bicep and you attach the shoulder armor on the hinge so that it just moves up and down, and when the arm moves, it just moves with the arm. It doesn't have to be attached to the shoulder itself. You can attach it to the deltoids. I don't know why Hasbro doesn't want to do that, and that's just insane, man. That is annoying as heck. Now the gun, you can put it in the holster. I mean, I don't know how they're going to be able to fix this, because once they release the retro carded version of this one, I don't think they're going to change it. I think it's going to be the same figure and you'll have the same problems, which is really just annoying. And so some final thoughts on this G.I. Joe Classified Series Armored Cobra Commander. I mean, it's a great sculpt. I think the designers tried to stay as true to the original 80s vintage Cobra Commander, Armored Cobra Commander. I think they did a good job with the sculpt. But it's the colors that are really putting me off with this figure. The molded, glossy, pearlescent silver vis-a-vis the painted on sort of metallic silver just isn't great. And I wish they could have done a better job with it. I wish they could have decided not to save money or cut corners and just do what they did with the Silver Surfer figures. That would have made this figure an epic figure. And also those shoulder armor that is just really annoying. The way it's been engineered, it's just driving me up the wall. I wish they could just take a page from Bandai and learn how to put the shoulder armor onto the actual deltoid with a hinge or something like that, instead of just having something like this which just warps over time. And I'm sorry, I cannot give this thing a perfect score. The best I can do is a 9 out of 10, maybe an 8.5, but I just love the sculpt so much and there's so much nostalgia. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Man, I was really hoping I could keep this figure, but you know, it's not a perfect figure. And if I'm gonna be true to my 100% rule, anything below a 10 out of 10, it's not gonna make it to my collection, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to let this one go. I don't know. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this G.I. Joe Classified Series Battle Armored or Armored Cobra Commander. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Look! It's the Pentor! At last, he is at my mercy. Seize him! Thank you, Emperor. The honor is mine. Is there no one who will help rid me of this self-satisfied vermin? Start a pythonizing ray immediately! I will join you with Nodahide Pet Iguana! Too late, Serpentor! The process has already begun!